Good morning, everyone, and welcome to this Sunday service of the Unitarian Universalist Congregation of Grand Traverse. My name is Martha Curtis, and I am a member of the Sunday Services Committee. This Sunday is our monthly all-ages service, a service where we're joined by our children and youth. Here at UUCGT, right, we welcome people of every background, identity, and age. We especially extend our love to families with young children. As spiritual people, we practice the art of staying curious, even when things at times feel a little uncomfortable. We're building a culture of inclusion and welcome as a community, and this includes the joyful sounds of little ones. Whether you're here in the sanctuary or joining us online, whether it's your first time or 100th, we're so glad you're with us. If you're visiting with us today, we'd love to get to know you. If you're comfortable, we invite you to stand and introduce yourself. A microphone will be brought to you so everyone here and online can hear you. If you prefer not to speak, that's okay too. Just enjoy being with us this morning. Are there any visitors? Here. Chris, over here. I'm looking for either I can't understand and I saw no.
Good morning, everyone. My name is Bello, and this is my daughter, Little Light. We just moved to Traverse City from upstate New York, and I was referred to try out this church by my mother and a few other friends. So yeah, we're excited.
Welcome. So, if you're new to us this morning, you're welcome during coffee hour to grab a yellow mug so that we can identify you and greet you. Those mugs are really nice. You're invited to write, later in the service, we'll share joys and concerns of our community. You're invited to write yours in the book to your left, and they'll be read by a member of our congregational care team, Ann Swaney. You're also welcome to light a candle for your joy or concern at any point during the service. We have some announcements. Join us promptly after the service for a 12-minute short film, Debí tirar más fotos. I should have taken more photos. From Bad Bunny. None other than Bad Bunny. Something relevant from Lewis. Reflection later in the service. We'll begin quickly, so don't wander off too far. Get carried away. Come back at noon to watch this short. I can't wait. Fall fundraiser volunteers are indeed needed. We're seeking helpers for our fall fundraiser. This year we have a generous $10,000 matching gift in honor of our beloved member, Marcia Bellinger. Contact Rev Alex if you'd like to volunteer or offer a matching gift yourself. Starting Point classes start today, 12 to 2 p.m. after the service. Explore UU History's theology and your own spiritual journey. Now, pick up your mission t-shirts in the second social hall after the service. Mike, would you stand and demonstrate what this can be? Oh, we got another one. Yay. Yes. Yes, we should all wear them one Sunday. That would be massively brilliant. Okay, there is a new art exhibit by Bill Allen down the hall. I glanced at it, and it is quite extraordinary. Also, remember to sign up for the No Kings March out in the social hall and the sign making. Thank you for leading that. So, Oh, and there is a special announcement today by Rev Alex.
So friends, I wanted to share something important with you. Our staff has been letting me know that they've been receiving a lot of direct feedback, sometimes right after or before the service, and sometimes feedback that is conflicting, kind of all over the place. That's a really hard position to be in, especially when they've just offered something from their heart, in the middle of a service to be, kind of confronted by feedback. So I want to remind us all that our staff are not accountable to 180 plus congregants individually. It's not fair to them, and it's not sustainable for our shared ministry. So if you have feedback for any staff member, I ask that you please bring it to me, to Charlie, who is the president of our board, or to the appropriate committee. That way we can hold feedback in a way that supports staff and keeps congregational life healthy and grounded in care. So thank you for helping us nurture a community where our staff feel supported, appreciated, and able to bring their best gifts forward. So anyway, thank you.
As we begin, I invite you to set aside the busyness of daily life. Please silence your cell phones and electronic devices so we can be fully present with one another. Now, let us worship together.
Welcome back, Barbara.
I have to say, I think that's probably the favorite piece that I've heard you play a couple of times now, a favorite of mine, but, man, can you play the heck out of that piano. What a great way to kick off this month of Hispanic and Latino heritage, right? Whoever you are and wherever you are in life's journey, you are welcome here with us this morning. I'm Reverend Alex. I'm the senior minister here alongside our community minister, Reverend Wendy Von Corder. I use he and him pronouns. And yeah, welcome to this service celebrating our roots and kind of highlighting Hispanic and Latino culture, community music, a really wonderful expression from members of our own community who are offering their wonderful gifts this morning, and so my deep gratitude to them. As we settle in, I invite you to receive these opening words. Roots are what hold us steady when the winds rise. They reach deep into the soil, drawing strength from what has come before. Roots connect us, branch to branch, leaf to leaf, person to person, reminding us that we do not stand alone. Today, we honor Raíces, the roots of Hispanic and Latinx heritage, roots woven from story, song, resilience, and love. May we draw nourishment from these roots, that we too may stand tall, offering shade, beauty, and shelter for one another. Come, let us worship.
In this all-ages service, please join us in our seed chalice lighting, the same words that our younger ones use in the lifelong learning program here at UUCGT. I will say the words, and if you know them, join me in saying the words, and I will also do the gestures, and I invite you all to join me in doing the gestures. We are Unitarian Universalists who put love at the center of our lives. As we light this chalice today, may the flames remind us that we honor the worth of every person. Show kindness even when it's hard. And that we shine our light by treating all people with dignity. And now, let us sound the singing bowl, entering a time of stillness.
Would you please rise in body or in spirit and join us in singing our opening hymn this morning, number 300, found in the gray hymnal, with heart and mind.
To make our Good morning. Buenos dias. Kiddos, come on down. Little ones, children at heart, whoever wants to. I see we have beautiful markers and paper to play with up here. And I have a story. Chelsea introduced me to this story. Chelsea, awesome choice. I love it. It's called Tíos and Primos. Can we say that? Tíos and Primos by Jacqueline Alcantara. Hope you enjoy. All right. Oh, so let me show you. The first thing we see here is an airplane. And where are they landing? They're in an airport. Coming on out. Let's see what happens. Yay, we are here, Papa. Can you tell me again who I'm going to meet? Your family, Chiquita. Yes, but who? Your tíos and tías, primos and primas. Do you think my uncles and aunts and cousins will understand me? I ask. They're your family. Of course they will, my papa says. Do you remember how to say, hi, how are you? I think so. Good. Look, there's my brother now. Hermano. I take a deep breath and say, hola, tío, ¿cómo estás? Tío smiles. Hola, ¿hablas español? Más o menos, I say. More or less is always my answer when someone asks me if I speak Spanish. Can we say más o menos? Más o menos. More or less. Tío lent us his truck so Papa can drive up and down through these curvy city streets. Here, Papa is home, so he knows exactly where to go. The roadside fruits look so delicious. I try to remember how to ask for something in Spanish, but before I can say anything, we have zoomed right past those piñas, mamones, lichis, and sandías. Papa and I drive up and down until we stop at an auto shop. Hermano! Hermano! Another uncle here? I ask. Yes, Chiquita, two, in fact, Papa says. I take a deep breath and I say, hola, tíos, ¿cómo están? Hola, mucho gusto. Hola, bienvenidos. Papa and my tíos talk and talk, but I only understand a few of the words. Gasolina, carro, rápido, fuerte. When we leave, my uncles yell to us, nos vemos. Papa tells me that means, see you later. Can we all say, nos vemos? Nos vemos. Muy bien. Next, we pull up to a house where Papa says we need to pick up a few things. Hermano, hermana, an aunt. I take a deep breath and I say, hola, tía, ¿cómo está? Hola, corazón. Then she says a lot more things very quickly. Noche, cantar, bailar, fiesta. Tia must be very funny. I don't understand her jokes, but Papa is laughing so hard that it makes me laugh too, because laughter is contagious. I wish I could tell her some of my favorite jokes. We are loading stuff into the truck when some kids appear. Tío, they yell to Papa. Sobrina, sobrino, Papa answers. Papa is a tío too, so they must be my cousins. They talk so fast, and when I stumble over my words and they don't understand me, we look at each other nervously and wonder what to do next. ¿Cómo te llamas? Me encantan tus coloches. Hola, primos. ¿Hablas español? ¿Cuántos años tienes? Whew, I am relieved but sad when Papa says it's time to go. We leave the city and we drive up and up and up, past tiny houses and big houses, past tall bamboo and big banana trees. When we hear a pop, Papa says, "Oh no, but maybe we aren't too far." "Too far from what?" I ask. "We're in the middle of nowhere." Uh-oh, do you see their tire? They got a flat tire? Hermano, hermano. It's another tío. I can't believe it. But Papa says we are surrounded by family here. We say our hellos, and then Tío and Papa change the tire. When they are done, Tío shows us around his mountain and picks some coffee beans for us to try. "Te gustan?" Tío says, and I figure out that he's asking me if I like them. "Sí," I say, "delicious." "Delicioso," Papa nods. Can we all say delicioso? Delicioso. Papa tells me this mountain is part mine too, and I feel so proud. I wish I knew how to ask Tío if I can bring some beans home so I can remember the smell of the mountain. We pull up to a little house surrounded by colorful flowers. Now we're gonna see somebody very important. Another tío or tía? Nope. A prima or a primo? Nope. Back home, my family is tiny. Here, there's family everywhere. And somehow this house already feels like home. I love that picture with the arms wide open silhouette in the doorway. That kind of makes me want to cry. Ooh, I love it. Sorry. Ooh, that makes me cry because I love my grandma so much. Then I meet my grandma. We give each other the biggest hug ever. Whew. Sometimes love just falls right out of your face. Whew. Abuela takes my hands into hers, and I can only understand some of her questions. I mix Spanish and English to answer her, and she squeezes my hand as she tries to understand. Familia, amor, gracias a Dios. I go outside and I think about all the things I wish I could say to my family. How can I be close to someone if I can't speak their language? I ask Abuela's horse. You understand me, right? Do you think the horse understands? Maybe, más o menos, right? My stomach grumbles, so I head back inside. I take a deep breath, and I think of how to ask for something to eat. Abuela, tengo... But before I can finish, she hands me a warm tortilla. Abuela rolls up hers and takes a bite, so I do too. Deliciosa. Let's say that together. Deliciosa. We hear the sound of cars, and I ask, who's coming? And then I am so happy to see all my tíos and primos pour into the yard. Hola, tío, I say to the first tío I met, and he hands me all the fruits that I wanted to try earlier. How did he know? Hola, tío, I say to my tío from the mountain, and he gave me coffee beans from our mountain. He read my mind, too. My cousins run towards me, and I get nervous with all their new questions, but one of them passes me a soccer ball, and we all know exactly what to do next. More tíos and primos keep arriving all night long, and we find lots of ways to get to know each other. Caballo, horse. Sueño, dream. Cantante, singer. Estrellas, stars. Te quiero, I love you. Can we say te quiero? Te quiero, I love you. Papa was right. My family does understand me, and I understand them. And I feel as close to them as if I had known them forever. At At the end of our trip, lots of tios and primos come to the airport, wave and yell, "Nos vemos." Let's say that. Nos vemos. And now I hope that means we all now I know that means we all hope to see each other again soon. And that's our story. Nice job, guys.
Would you all join me in singing our children's song today? We are children of the stars, we are children of the earth, we are spinners and weavers in this web of life, and the joy that we weave reaches out beyond the stars and deep within the center of our being. We are children of tomorrow, we are children of our dreams, we are planners and builders in this web of life, and the future that we weave reaches out beyond the stars and deep within the center of our being.
All right. Good morning, everyone. I am Louis Pardo, and my family and I are proud members of the UUCGT, and I have the honor of serving on our Board of Trustees. Today, I want to talk to you about the Puerto Rican experience through the lens of an unlikely teacher, a self-described bad bunny. Bad Bunny is a Puerto Rican musical artist who was recently announced as the entertainer for this year's Super Bowl halftime show. He is second to only Taylor Swift as the most streamed musical artist in the world. Now, I originally learned about Bad Bunny from my father, who is in his 70s and was raised in Puerto Rico. Because he was proud of seeing such a young Puerto Rican man experience so much success in the continental US. Now, Bad Bunny recently kicked off a global tour with a 31-show residency in San Juan, with over 50 more shows to go around the world. What is notable here is that there are no shows scheduled in the continental United States. Why? Specifically, because he did not want his audiences targeted by ICE raids. Most of his music is in the style of reggaeton, a very danceable style of music that combines the bouncy, hypnotic rhythm of reggae music with Spanish rap, adds a little layer of Latin flair with it. Now, Bad Bunny's music speaks mostly about the party life of the youth and everything that comes with it, good and bad. However, he released an album this year that took a different approach, and it made quite the impression on me personally. It is called Debí tirar más fotos. I should have taken more photos. At first, it's fun, stylish, and modern, but when you peel back the layers, it's really a love letter to Puerto Rico, to its music, its people, its struggles, and its joy. It also offers us lessons about the material realities of Puerto Rican life, both on the island and across the diaspora. Let's walk through some of the stories he tells through his songs on the album. There's a first song called Café con Ron, translates to coffee with rum. It's a song rooted in the style of Puerto Rican folk music, and its spirit is celebratory. The lyrics remind us of the joy of living in the moment, gathering in the barrio, laughing with friends, sharing food, music, letting go of stress. This is a snapshot of Puerto Rican culture at its most resilient, finding joy even in the midst of challenges. In the song La Mudanza, translates to the move. Here, Bad Bunny pays tribute to his family by telling the story of how his mother and father met. reminding us of how central family is to Puerto Rican culture. For many of us, just like we saw in the story, family is not just immediate relatives, right? It's cousins, aunts, grandparents, neighbors down the street. Family is our anchor. He has a song called Nueva York, which translates to New York. Now, this song echoes the Puerto Rican migration of the 1970s to New York City and the surrounding areas. The same migration that my own parents were part of. This diaspora created communities where salsa music was born, a sound that defined generations. Nueva York captures the longing, the struggle, and the pride of Puerto Ricans who left the island but never left their identity behind. In the song Baile Inolvidable, which translates to the unforgettable dance, it's a salsa song full of rhythm and movement, reminding us that music and dance are not just entertainment in Puerto Rico, they're the heartbeat of our culture. To dance salsa is to live our history. The next song, Voy a llevarte pa PR, which translates to, I'm going to take you to PR. In this reggaeton track, Bad Bunny invites his love interest from the mainland US to come to the island and experience it for themselves. It reflects a deeper truth. Puerto Rico has a certain gravitational pull. No matter how far Puerto Ricans travel, the island always calls us back. But the album doesn't just celebrate, it also critiques. In the song Turista, which translates to tourist, on the surface, it's a love song, but its lyrics tell another story. Let me share some translated lyrics here. In my life, you were a tourist. You only saw the best of me and not how I was suffering. You left without knowing the reason for my wounds, and it wasn't your place to heal them. You just came to have a good time. Here, tourism becomes a metaphor for heartbreak, but it also critiques the real-world effects of Puerto Rico's tourism boom, where visitors may enjoy the beaches without seeing the struggles of the people who live there. In the song, Lo que le pasó a Hawaii, which translates to what happened to Hawaii, this is both a protest and a warning. Bad Bunny sings, they want to take my river and my beach too. They want my neighborhood and grandma to leave. No, don't let go of the flag, nor forget our songs, because I don't want them to do to you what happened to Hawaii. This is a call for preservation, against gentrification, against cultural erasure, against the slow stripping away of what makes Puerto Rico home. And this leads us to the bigger truth. While Puerto Rico is often referred to as a commonwealth or a territory of the United States, it is, in effect, its colony. And it lives with limited sovereignty. Since the time the Europeans arrived on the island, Puerto Ricans have only known life as a colony of either Spain or the United States. The album reflects this tension between pride and pain and between celebration and protest. Finally, the title track, Debí tirar más fotos. I should have taken more photos, closes the album with a personal reminder. The chorus says, I should have taken more photos when I had you. I should have given you more hugs and kisses whenever I could. I hope my people never move away. And I hope they help me out if I drink a little too much today. It tells us to hold on to what we have, to preserve memories, to give love and appreciation while we still can. And that's my call to action today. Like, stop and appreciate who you have. Take more pictures, because sometimes that is all you have left of someone. And if they ask you why you're taking so many pictures, tell them Bad Bunny said so. So as we celebrate Hispanic Heritage Month, let's also reflect on what Puerto Rico needs from all of us. Number one, consider supporting lawmakers who will put an end to the colonization by advocating for either statehood or independence, whichever path Puerto Ricans choose. Number two, visit Puerto Rico. My wife, Erin, and I would be glad to share some pointers. You don't need a passport. They use the US dollar, and it's not hard to find an English speaker. And if you go, be a good tourist. Rent from locals, spend your money at neighborhood businesses, go beyond the resort bubble. And always ask yourself, are my choices benefiting both me and the people who call Puerto Rico home? For those of you interested in learning more, as mentioned before, after today's service, we'll screen a short film Bad Bunny released with his album. It's a poignant story starring a legendary Puerto Rican filmmaker, Jacobo Morales. It has themes likely to resonate with many of you in the room and may help you better identify with this part of America. The Puerto Rican experience is one of resilience, joy, struggle, and celebration. Bad Bunny, our so-called ill-behaved rabbit, has captured it all of it in one album. May we honor those lessons, not just with our ears, but with our actions. Thank you.
Thank you. It is a privilege to sustain a congregation such as this, not just for today, but for the weeks, years, and generations to come. As a self-governing, self-sustaining community, we received no outside funding. We rely on the generosity and commitment of those who find meaning here. Today, ushers will pass baskets with two sides. One side supports the life and mission of the congregation. The other supports the needs in the community, including local food programs, shelters, and services for the most vulnerable. Recently, the board decided to earmark a portion of the For Those in Need side of our offering to support social justice in our region. You can give using the options on the screen. Check online through an app, and note in the memo line or comment field whether your gift is for pledge, for community needs, or a special collection. This helps us to honor your intentions and ensure that your gift is used exactly as you intend. If this is your first time with us, please be our guest as baskets pass. Every gift, large or small, is received with deep gratitude. We now gratefully receive this morning's offering.
Verde luz de monte y mar, Isla Virgen del Coral. Si me ausento de tus playas rumorosas, si me alejo de tus palmas silenciosas, quiero volver a sentir la tibia arena, a dormirme en tus riberas, isla mía, flor cautiva, para ti quiero tener libre tu suelo, sola tu estrella, isla doncella, quiero tener. Verde luz de monte y mar.
You got more? I don't for now. That was beautiful, Miriam. So, it is our practice. I'm Ann Swaney, a member of your congregational care team. And it's our practice as a religious community to set aside time in our service to name and honor the joys and concerns that mark our lives, the milestones and moments of our lived experience. I will be sharing the joys and concerns that have been offered up for us to hold on our hearts as we are gathered today. If you have a joy or concern that's a bit too heavy to share, I invite you to reach out to Reverend Alex or to a member of our congregational care team. You can identify us by our purple ribbons on our name tags. Any in the audience that want to raise your hand? Okay, there are a couple people available. Carl and Millie. Oh, thank you. You may also light a candle at any time during the service or honor your joy or concern during our stone meditation, knowing that you are held in the loving hearts of this community. For none of us is meant to travel life's journey alone. Here is what has been shared with this gathered community. From Mike Radke, A Joy and Concern. A joy, great happiness and comfort for Jan Zerbel in her new abode. For Heather Radke, Andrew and Nora in their new city, Chicago. And a safe journey home today for beautiful baby Kate Radke, right? Baby? No, never mind. Okay. It's a joy. A concern for our immigrant neighbors who are fearful of being targeted, detained, and deported, leaving families struggling to survive. May we be a source of mutual aid and safe accompaniment. And now I have a few to read from the book. The first one is from Chris Walter. A joy, when you see this man, my man, the one who's usually smiling, always helpful. Wish him the very best 81st birthday to Rick Walter. Happy birthday. There he is. And from Teresa and David, asking for love and healing energy for David Moore's brother Patrick. He is still struggling with severe health issues. From Jacqueline Burke, our friend in the office. Joy, after 2.5 years away, my husband, who has found work in Traverse City, and coming home. And this next one is unsigned. It's a concern for a friend experiencing chronic pain and all that comes with it. From Kim Greavy, a candle of great sorrow for the people on the south side of Chicago who suffered an intentionally cruel and dehumanizing raid on their apartment building. It appears this administration cannot return to the days of Jim Crow soon enough. So that's it for the book. You can also light a candle at any time during the service or honor your joy or concern during our stone meditation. I already said that, didn't I? And now let's hold a moment of stillness for the concerns and joys that remain in the silence and in our hearts.
Hello, friends. It's now our time for the stone meditation in our service. If you're feeling moved to take a stone and place it in our bowl of water for a joy or concern that's on your heart, you're invited to come forward now and do so. Will you join me in a short prayer together? Spirit of life, fuente de amor, we give thanks for the roots that ground us, for the ancestors who came before, for the stories, songs, and traditions that shape who we are. May we honor these roots in our hearts and in our actions, drawing strength from them and sharing their gifts with one another. Guide us to stand with courage, to grow with compassion, and to celebrate the richness of the heritage that connects us all. So may it be, and amen. We're going to be doing a special singing of Spirit of Life this morning. We're going to be singing Spirit of Life in English, but also in Spanish. I hear that the vocal ensemble, our choir, has already been at work on learning this. I will do this first one time through, singing the Spanish for you. You'll then be invited to join me in singing the Spanish, and then we'll sing in English together. Fuente de amor, ven hacia mí y al corazón, cántale tu compasión. Sol al volar, sube en la mar, hasta moldear la justicia de la vida. Arraígame, libérame, fuente de amor, ven a mí, ven a mí. Fuente de amor, ven hacia mí y al corazón, cántale compasión. Sol al volar, sube en la mar, hasta moldear la justicia de la vida. Arraígame, libérame, fuente de amor, ven a mí, ven a mí. Spirit of life, come unto me. Sing in my heart all the stirrings of compassion. Blow in the wind, rise in the sea, move in the hand, giving life the shape of justice. Roots hold me close, wings set me free. Spirit of life, come to me, come to me.
All right, you guys are going to make me dehydrated today. I've been crying so much. Thank you. So beautiful. And great singing. My name is Miriam. I am a member here at the UUCGT. And I'm going to speak a little bit about what it feels like to be in between two cultures. To be a Puerto Rican living in northern Michigan is to be living in a yin-yang. Kiddos, For those of you who don't know what a yin-yang is, I got one for you. Have you seen that symbol before? Yeah, okay. So, the light has a little darkness in it, but the darkness has a little light in it. We all can relate in our own ways to that feeling. When I came to Traverse City as a young child, I only spoke Spanish. I had lost my culture, my language, my community, just like that. My siblings and I were teased, bullied, and even physically attacked at the bus stop because of how we spoke and how we looked. And the worst thing is that some of the verbal bullying came from adults as well as children. These were very dark times. But in that darkness, there was a light that I want to shine a spotlight on today. There was a woman named Catherine Valovic. Anyone know Catherine Valovic? Yes, we love her, right? She was playing the organ, and she was the music minister at the Catholic church that we had started attending in Traverse City. One day at that church, we heard Catherine's voice from the balcony, and she was singing a song in Spanish. My family, we all looked at each other in the pew in disbelief. It was very moving. Was she really singing in Spanish? We all lifted our voices, we all sang along, and this tiny gesture, which has stayed with me all these years, it made us all feel that we were welcomed. Years later, I discovered that Catherine had simply noticed that a Spanish-speaking family had been attending her church, and she chose to incorporate Spanish songs to help us feel seen and welcomed. She is the first person that made me realize that there were good-hearted and open-minded people here in northern Michigan. So thank you, Catherine. Fast forward 13 years, and by then I was an 18-year-old who had tried her best to assimilate in order to avoid more racist bullying. I had learned to speak, dress, and act like the Traverse City people. But something inside of me kept calling me back to Puerto Rico. I decided to live there for a while after high school with my aunt, Titi Telmin. This experience was overwhelmingly beautiful, filled with my huge extended family and music and dancing, the sound of coquilles at night. Coquilles are a little frog, guys, and it makes a sound like this. It's so pretty, and the air is just filled with that sound at night in Puerto Rico. There was the most delicious food I'd ever eaten, and lots of genuine hugs. If you know me, I'm a hugger, and down there everybody's a hugger, so I felt right at home. Plus literal sunshine and even rainbows pretty much every single day. My heart and my physical body felt at home and relaxed. But just like the yin-yang symbol, this bright side had a little bit of darkness in it too. See, I had been in Michigan for so long, my Spanish had developed an accent, I didn't know the slang, I didn't get the cultural references, and I was clueless about the politics of how abusive the US is towards Puerto Rico. On more than one occasion, I was half-jokingly referred to as La Gringa, the American girl. Many tears were secretly shed as I realized I would forever be stuck in the in-between, not really belonging here, not really belonging there. To find peace in this situation is a lifelong practice that I'm in the middle of. Sometimes it hurts more than others, but my husband Ryan helped me a lot when he said, "Some people only have one home. You have two. And you belong in both places, and you have something unique to offer to the people of those both places, and that is your superpower." And I was like, he gets me. That really helped change my perspective on it and embrace it a little bit more, embrace the yin-yang of my personal life. So in that spirit, I want to thank the UUCGT for this service and for always making me feel welcome exactly as I am. The song I'm going to sing now is called En Mi Viejo San Juan. San Juan is the capital of Puerto Rico. And if you visit there, go to San Juan, but make sure you go to Old San Juan, where it's blue cobblestone streets, and it looks like old Spain. It's gorgeous, colorful buildings. Can't recommend it enough. So En Mi Viejo San Juan, the English translation will be up on the screen. Thanks to the wonderful Jeff back there. This is a very popular song, especially among the Puerto Rican diaspora, those of us who have had to leave the island but who forever feel ourselves being called back. I hope you can read along and enjoy. En mi viejo San Juan, cuántos sueños forjé en mis años de infancia. Mi primera ilusión y mis cuitas de amor son recuerdos del alma. Una tarde me fui a esa extraña nación, pues lo quiso el destino, pero mi corazón se quedó frente al mar en mi viejo San Juan. Adiós, 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 Borinquen querida, tierra de mi amor. Adiós, 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 mi diosa del mar, mi reina del palmar. Me voy, ya me voy, pero un día volveré a buscar mi querer, a soñar otra vez en mi viejo San Juan. Pero el tiempo pasó y el destino burló mi terrible nostalgia. Y no pude volver al San Juan que yo amé, pedacito de patria. Mi cabello blanqueó, ya mi vida se va, ya la muerte me llama. Y no quiero morir alejada de ti, Puerto Rica del alma. Adiós, 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 Borinquen querida, tierra de mi amor. Adiós, 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 mi diosa del mar, mi reina del palmar. Me voy, ya me voy, pero un día volveré a buscar mi querer, a soñar otra vez en mi viejo San Juan, a soñar otra vez, a buscar mi querer en mi viejo San Juan. Gracias, thank you.
One of the most confusing things for me growing up was not knowing which box to check whenever I was asked about my race or ethnicity. Sure, you might look at me and say, duh, you're white. And you'd be right. But there's more to my family story than meets the eye. You might not know this about me, but I'm actually part Mexican-American, a quarter from my mother's side. And in the Beacon, I shared with you some of my family's ancestry and roots with my Mexican family living in El Paso back in the time it was Mexico before becoming a part of Texas in the United States. We still have relatives that live in El Paso, and that region itself illustrates great complexity around identity. People are often surprised to learn that I'm part Mexican. Growing up, my mom, who is half Mexican, wanted us to grow up close to the culture. At home, she made amazing, authentic foods that she was taught as a girl: chile verde, pozole, chilaquiles, tamales. Let's just say I was really spoiled with my mom's good cooking. And in the San Francisco Bay Area, we were lucky to have bilingual Spanish and English classes at our public school, meaning we learned Spanish for half of the day while in elementary school. So in our schools and neighborhoods, we had friends who were Mexican-American, Hispanic, Latino, which for us created a real sense of connection to our roots. Yet even with these connections to the language and culture, I'm still not sure which boxes to check, which circles I fully belong in. From my dad's side, my brother and I were often met with skepticism because we were too white to be Mexican. And among Mexican-American friends, there was a sense of not being Mexican enough for some circles. And in my own positionality as a white, cisgender male, there are clear ways that my own experience is fundamentally different from Hispanic and Latino folks who are brown. I experience this country as someone who is white, including many privileges that aren't afforded to people of color. I find myself straddling lines and boxes of identity, unsure of where I fully fit in, if I fully fit in anywhere. The struggle with racial and ethnic identity is rooted also in our history. Up until modern nation states, before passports and borders, people often moved between nations and territories with ease. Following World War I, things changed with the rise of borders and increased control around immigration. And the Immigration Act of 1924 required the use of passports, quotas, and visas for the first time in our nation's history. Those quotas favored desirable folks from Northern Europe over folks that were seen as less desirable. I want to especially note that folks from Mexico and Latin America were also undesirable, but actually had no formal quota. Their immigration was tightly controlled by the 1924 established Border Patrol. Mass deportations and exploitive work programs used to limit their immigration to this country. Up until this, the culture around immigration in the US was very different, especially in the times of Ellis Island. If you made it to Ellis Island as an immigrant, you were rarely turned away, except for those with illness, financial troubles, or a criminal record. Only 2% of folks were turned away at Ellis Island, illustrating a very different time and culture from our modern day today. And I actually have a book recommendation for any of you that are curious about exploring all of this history further. I read this wonderful book in college called Impossible Subjects that talks about the history of the illegal immigrant and how that's been developed. So anyway, I recommend that. Think about the worlds of difference in our attitude toward immigration, how weaponized fear and xenophobia has led to strict quotas for entry, how we now have ICE in our streets, rounding up anyone who doesn't look like an American citizen. We all know what that is code for. Folks that look brown. Not to mention people who are here legally, who are even born here, being rounded up and deported unlawfully as families are torn apart. We are in different times with today's national conversation around immigration. For Mexican Americans and other Hispanic and Latino folks, checking white on forms was what you did. Folks in these groups often felt outside of any other racial group. And even today, many Latino and Hispanic folks continue to check white, even though they don't largely identify with whiteness. From our reading of books like Caste, we know that whiteness is this artificial construct, one that not only robs those of other origins of their connections by ways of assimilation, but also robs white folks of their cultures and connections, trading them in for an artificial racial identifier steeped in racist policy and history. The conversation around how to identify is even more complicated, as terms like Hispanic and Latino refer to very different things. These are actually ethnic categories rather than racial ones. Someone who is Hispanic maintains a connection via language to Spanish-speaking countries. This term excludes places like Brazil and Latin America that speaks Portuguese, as well as some parts of the Caribbean that don't speak Spanish. And yet, on the other hand, someone who is Latino is from a place in Latin America, and yet this identifier excludes people from Spain. With Latino, there are also newer terms for gender-neutral forms of identity, as Latino and Latina don't always fit someone who is trans, genderqueer, or doesn't fit on the gender binary. And so terms like Latinx and Latine are some ways of making these identifiers more inclusive for those that aren't on the binary. I told you, identity gets pretty complicated. So today, I still don't feel fully at home in any box or category. I'll probably continue to pause as I navigate forms and try to fit myself in those tiny, small boxes. Yet what I also know is that there is no single race or color for being Hispanic or Latino. As a group, we exist across many different cultures, countries, nationalities, and identities. I invite you, wherever you are in the mix of your own beautiful mosaic of identity, to claim your whole self, even if you don't fit anywhere. Even if people discount you or attempt to erase your ancestries, your histories, and connections. At the heart of identity is this important question: ¿Quiénes somos? Who are we? No matter who you are or where you come from, we are all more whole when we are welcomed in our fullness. So claim your whole self. In these times, that itself is a radical act of justice. Amen. Let's now join in a brief moment of stillness.
Would you please rise in body or in spirit and join me in reclaiming my whole self with this little light of mine found in the gray hymnal? We'll all reclaim our whole selves. This little light of mine, I'm gonna let it shine. This little light of mine, I'm gonna let it shine. This little light of mine, I'm gonna let it shine. Let it shine, let it shine, let it shine. Everywhere I go, I'm gonna let it shine. Everywhere I go, I'm gonna let it shine. Everywhere I go, I'm gonna let it shine. Let it shine, let it shine, let it shine. Building up our world, I'm gonna let it shine. Building up our world, I'm gonna let it shine. Building up our world, I'm gonna let it shine. Let it shine, let it shine, let it shine. This little light of mine, I'm gonna let it shine. This little light of mine, I'm gonna let it shine. This little light of mine, I'm gonna let it shine. Let it shine, let it shine, let it shine. Let it shine, let it shine, let it shine. Now, before we close out the service, we have something else to celebrate today. October also happens to be Ministerial Appreciation Month. And we have a special little version of Spinners and Weavers that we would like to sing to our beloved Alex. So if you would join me, please. Alex helps to nurture this beloved community of ours. He's a spinner and a weaver in this web of life.
I had no clue that was coming. Thank you, thank you. While you're remaining standing, I invite you to reach out to a neighbor or to extend your hands in our sign of please do not touch me if you're someone that doesn't like to be touched. Those of you online are welcome to join us in this gesture as well as Martha releases our flame.
May the light of this chalice continue to remind us of the roots that ground us in our families, our stories, and our communities. Go forth carrying its warmth, sharing strength and connection with all those you meet.
And in the spirit of covenant, community, and commitment, and in the spirit of the roots that hold us close, may we be made ready to serve one another and create the world we so desperately dream of. Go in peace, pass a little squeeze. Happy Sunday, but don't go too far because we're going to start that film screening right away after the service.